And how unfortunate and how sad when the Muslim, he knows that he is bound and duty bound to the command of Allah, and yet he ignores the teachings. And in order to gain, is it status, honor, dignity in this world, remember the statement of Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, that we were a disgraceful and humiliated people when we sought our izzah. إِذَا كُنَّا ابْتَغَيْنَا الْعِزَّةَ بِغَيْرِ مَا أَعَزَّنَا اللَّهُ أَذَلَّنَا اللَّهُ. The moment our intention is to gain that status and that honor and that position and that, in the eyes of the people, and we abandon the command of Allah, then what happens? This is the cause of the downfall and the degeneration and the decline and the fall of the ummah. So the Muslim has to be very careful when he wants to be in a place of position, and when he is given that opportunity to at least enforce or at least protect and safeguard his deen, and when he leaves that, what will be the consequence? The consequence will be just like how Allah Ta'ala brought about the punishment on those nations in the past. Similarly, there is no prophet to come in our time. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came as the final messenger. So his teaching is for right up till the end of time. We cannot change the divine command of Allah. And remember always, man-made laws has flaws in them. When Allah Ta'ala gives a ruling and a teaching, and in the Quran, the beauty of what is the position and status of marriage in Islam, and men, when they want to change the natural order of the law of Allah, this is what the fear and the worry is, that it can be a cause of inviting the wrath of Allah to descend upon the communities. And whom can stop it when Allah Ta'ala decrees a matter? People have witnessed and have seen these tsunamis, and they have seen these hurricanes, and they have seen the earthquakes, and they are witnessing these heat waves and temperatures plummeting and freeze. All these are signs that there is somebody, when he decrees a matter, none can prevent it. May Allah Ta'ala give us the understanding to realize the importance on holding firm onto the Kitab Allah and the Sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. In so doing, lan tadillu, you will never be led astray. The moment we abandon it, the moment we leave it, this is the cause of the sign of the destruction, and may lead also to the humiliation of a people and the ummah. We will open our lines and take our first call. Your name and where you're calling from. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. It's Alia from Birmingham.
Okay, your question?
I'd just like you to elaborate on, I got a personal matter which has occurred in the last year. My husband actually says to me when he enters the house, he feels hatred for me and my children, and when he's outside the house, he's happy, which has caused a separation. Can you just maybe elaborate if there's anything from the Quran on this?
So when he comes home, he said?
He's depressed, he's sad, and he feels hatred towards me and my children.
Okay. Jazakallah khairan. What we need to look at, there are important points to consider. One is, are we in our home when the husband returns from his work? Probably. What is our and how is our welcome? How many a husband that enter their home, they do not even send their salam? So the beginning of the problem of many homes is that we have abandoned the beautiful sunnah and the teaching of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. أَوَلَا أَدُلُّكُمْ عَلَى شَيْءٍ إِذَا فَعَلْتُمُوهُ تَحَابَبْتُمْ. Shall I inform you of something that if you practice upon it, it will create mahabbah, it will create love, harmony between you. So the husband enters the home, does not even say assalamu alaikum to the wife. The wife is not even responding, or it seems as if though the condition of many homes, that husband and wife, they are not living a life of blissful marriage. There is less communication, there is depression. Each one should scan his heart, consult his heart, and see what is the root cause of the problem. Sometimes we think that we are on the right, and we forget that probably there may be something that we are pushing the husband away, and there is something that is turning his heart away. It could also be that he is working in an environment where there are people around him who are speaking to him in a manner where there is politeness, where they are cheerful, where they are smiling. So he is in an environment where he is maybe in a position of authority and he is in control. So there are certain things that are happening at him during his work time. And when he returns home, he finds that his wife, probably as soon as he enters the home, is she scolding at him? Is she shouting at him? Is she already questioning him? Is she already interrogating him? Why is he late? Many, many things. So it all depends. Whenever there is a dispute between the husband and wife, they would need to sit down. وإن خفتم شقاق بينهما فبعثوا حكما من أهله وحكما من أهلها إن يريد إصلاحا يوفق الله بينهما. So now they are seated down, and you have a representative from the girl, a representative from the boy, and they try to cement the relationship. They try, because we have somebody who is listening to what is the issue of concern. Why is the husband depressed? Why is he happy when he's away from home? So lots of things would need to be carefully analyzed, and thereafter to come to some positive conclusions. But it needs to make a sincere willingness from both sides to try and save that marriage, inshallah. May Allah Ta'ala make it easy. And I hope that you could read maybe probably books where they give you ingredients for a happy marriage, inshallah. We will take the next call. Assalamu alaikum. Your name and where are you calling from?
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Sulaiman. My name is Brother Hassan from Oxford. Basically, I have two things. Firstly, the question is, at the moment, I've got a swollen foot, and it's called something called gout. And I would like to pray, but unfortunately, I cannot pray because I cannot do wudu properly, and I cannot sit down and do sajda and ruku because of the foot is quite swollen. So I'm aware that I can sit down on a chair and pray, but I've been told that this is not permissible. And also, because I can't do wudu, I was hoping to do taima, but I do not have this stone. Can I get any stone from the street and do taima? I would like to an answer for that question. And secondly, just a comment to congratulate you on your work for Shakir Ahmad. I've been watching you and the work you do, alhamdulillah, mashallah. And I think you should address that a little, if you can, and get people to sign the petition, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, Jazakallah khairan to the brother from Oxford. And yes, indeed, it's a very beautiful reminder that you have given. Whenever there is a difficulty or any brother who is in difficulty, the response of the Muslim is, and you know, and people are aware of it, that if he's not been given a fair trial, and his, in fact, the 13th of February will be 11 years of imprisonment. How sad and unfortunate it is that we have the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Man naffasa an mu'min kurbatan," whomsoever removes the distress of any believer, Allah will remove his distress on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah. So hence we recommend and we advise that every person, everyone who has concerned about his life of the year after, in this world you have been put to a test. What will you do when you knew and you had your brother who has been imprisoned for 11 years, no, in fact cleared for release 2 times, no charge, no trial? So please, yes, we do request that you do sign the petition so that inshallah effort be made so that he can be immediately released and transferred to his family who live here in South London in Battersea. and his children also attend our our madrasa, and we see them growing up in front of our eyes. Please do try and help in whatever you can, and get people to sign this petition, inshallah, for our brother Shakir Amir, the last Londoner in Guantanamo. You have raised the question on the sitting, standing, feet is swollen. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is reported to have said, or closer to the meaning, fattakullah mastata'atum, that you worship Allah in whatever is in your capacity. So if somebody cannot stand and pray, he is allowed to sit and pray. If somebody cannot sit and pray, is allowed to recline and lie down. The feet is swollen, you cannot stand, you have a gout. So there is permissibility for you not to put over a burden yourself. La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha. In your capacity, you can make your wudu. Now tayammum is a substitute for wudu. When do you do tayammum? If the water is not available, if by using that water which may cause your condition to deteriorate, is your life going to put you in danger? If it's not the case, then it will not be allowed to make the tayammum, but it would be permissible for you to do the masah and to pass your hands over that place where there is the gout or it's swollen, or so you will need to we say yes, it is allowed for you to sit down and perform the prayer, but you cannot abandon the prayer. Jazakallah khairan. We will take the next call. Assalamu alaikum. Your name and where are you calling from? Assalamu alaikum.
Hello?
Okay, your name?
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Yes, Sheikh, my name is Muzammil.
Yes, brother Muzammil, your question?
Yeah, brother, what is, I'm a bus driver, and sometimes when you go to use the bathroom, obviously there's, as you were Western toilet, there's urinate on the floor and everything, and it's hard to keep clean. So, to use the toilet, majority of the time you have to stay away from the toilet because it's got urine all over the seat and that. So, is it okay for us to stand up and do it and be careful, or do we have to sit down or find a proper place? Because it's hard sometimes while you're working to find a proper place, because you sometimes we pray our salah in the bus and that. I'd be grateful if you could answer that question for me, Sheikh.
Yes, indeed. The important point is that one of the punishment of the grave is a person was not careful after urinating and cleansing himself. So if there is a person who does not clean himself thoroughly, ensure that there are no drops of urine after he has completed his toilet and passed the urine, he has to take extra caution. So we have the beautiful etiquette and adab of entering the toilet and being sitting down position, and the posture also when one is defecating or urinating. So that posture also, it meets the condition where a person can thoroughly cleanse himself or ensure that there are no drops of urine also. So now you have raised a very valid point. Is there the evidence, or when Prophet ﷺ came, ata sabatata qawmin, and when he stood and done the urine, given that it may be that there is sometimes a situation and the condition that that area that you want to pass the urine, it is so it is full of impurities and najasa, and you could not even cleanse it, then there will be the permissibility to stand at that time and that condition. So it is not an open permissibility just to stand and urinate, but only under certain extenuating or serious circumstances there will be permission to do so. And even then you have to make sure that there are no drops of urine that may fall onto your body or onto your clothing. So that is what you have to bear in mind. Yes, Jazakallah khairan to that question from Brother Muzammil. We will go to the next caller. Assalamu alaikum. Your name and where are you calling from?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm calling from UK. My name is Asma.
Okay, your question?
Sheikh, I would like to ask you, it's not a question, it's kind of a need a bit of advice. Subhanallah, I used to pray I used to take my prayer seriously, and then mashallah, and now it's like I'm not praying on times, and sometimes even so my prayers. So could you give me an advice? Subhanallah, because before, like, even people used to say to me, "Oh, the sunnahs you can see on you, mashallah, and everything." Now within myself, I know my prayers, and I just pray, but I don't know khushu with it. SubhanAllah, can you give me the advice where I can start from? Inshallah.
Okay, Jazakallah khairan. Yes, indeed, there is something called the sweetness of the iman. Now, salasu man kunna fihi wajra halawat al-iman. So there are types of people, when they find themselves in that condition, they will taste the sweetness of iman. So we need to check and see, do we have love for Allah and love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? When we have more connection and understand the importance and purpose of the prayer and the position of the prayer and the salah in the life of the believer and the position of salah for that person who has abandoned it, the distinction and the distinguishing and striking feature of the believer and the disbeliever is in the salah, in the prayer. If Allah Ta'ala in the Quran, in Surah Al-Mu'minun, explain the characteristics of the believers, beginning first by قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. Successful indeed are those believers who have khushu', humility, sincerity in their salah. That is the first characteristic. Now a person finds him devoid of that quality. It does not mean that you will abstain from the prayer. You have feeling you are right down. You feeling that there is no khushu', devotion, sincerity. So the perpetual prayer, and you are continuing in your struggle, and you are building, and you are doing lots of actions that may draw you closer to Almighty Allah Ta'ala. Because you can never abandon the prayer, and person will be rewarded according to his level and of his devotion and sincerity in the prayer. So it is for you to make that concerted effort and to do that serious reflection and to think that you are standing in front of your Creator, and it is about knowing that just like how a person, when he's standing in front of a king or a minister, how would he behave? Now you have to build yourself to a level which is called ihsan, an ta'bud Allah ka'annaka tarahu fa in lam takun tarahu fa inna yarak. Can you build yourself to such a level that when you are standing in prayer, when you are worshipping Allah, it is as if though you are seeing Allah. When you are worshipping your Creator, and you know, and if you think that you cannot see your Creator, know that Allah Ta'ala is watching over you. So the life of a believer is to bring himself to that level of being from the righteous by doing certain actions, and those actions will need to be done with istiqamah and steadfastness. So think about the beautiful hadith. If you have steadfastness, if you think that you want to gain and preserve and protect your iman, then have two things in your life. Have istiqamah, steadfastness, and increase in your iman. The question is, how do you increase in your iman? So now that you know that salah is important in your life, keep on praying the salah. Never abandon the salah. You have performed it. You have fulfilled your obligation. Allah will reward you according to the level of your devotion, sincerity, and all that is with Almighty Allah Ta'ala. But the believer, he continues because he knows that if Malak al-Maut and that angel comes to him, at least there is a reward for having that steadfastness. Inna alladhina qalu. We are coming close to the break, but I would like you to remember of the dua of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ya musarrif al-qulub, sarrif qulubana ala ta'atik. O the turner of the hearts, turn our hearts in your obedience. Until after the break, inshallah, we will continue. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم
At Sam's, we've been offering you delicious halal chicken. But did you know about our new peri-peri deals we have on right now? You didn't? Well, you need to come and make your taste buds happy. Try our tasty peri-peri chicken wraps, 2 for £4. Or our peri-peri quarter chicken meal and get a quarter chicken free. Or maybe our 6 peri-peri wings offer and get salad or rice free. Giving you more for less. Sam's, the home of great tasting chicken.
Awakening Productions presents a recitation of the Holy Quran by Sheikh Mashari bin Rashid Al-Afasi.
واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين.
Reed Foundation have been implementing educational and welfare projects in the developing world since 1994. We have 340 schools, educating 75,000 orphans and needy children for our own 4,000 teachers, making it one of the largest educational NGOs of rural Pakistan. £30 per month provides food, clothing, medical care and education. Please donate now. Visit us on reedfoundation.org.uk.
Marriages are like gardens. In the hands of skillful gardeners, they're beautiful and tranquil, but in the hands of unskilled gardeners, they can become barren places full of despair and loneliness. Marriage is half of our religion and needs to be managed thoughtfully. Ibrahim College's The Art of Marriage seminar will give you a good grounding in how to navigate through marriage and make yours beautiful, successful and rewarding. Enroll now for London or Manchester at ibrahimcollege.org.uk or call 0207 377 6677.
It is a fact of life that our Islamic values are constantly challenged in the land we live, testing our homes and our family bonds. Often, wise words from our elders cannot heal the rifts. Islamic law advocates are Sharia-qualified lawyers handling all family law-related issues.
We specialize in Islamic compliant reconciliation and mediation for both parties in keeping with your fiqh and school of beliefs. We are supported by many Islamic organizations and authorities.
Islamic law advocates, where religious obligation and domestic law work hand in hand.
Tariq Halal Meets of Wembley are proud to announce their new franchise branch opening on 13th Feb in Upton Park. Come and visit Tariq Halal at 29 Barking Road, Upton Park, and take advantage of our fantastic special opening offers on meat, chicken and fish.
Rabbi zidni ilma. Oh my Lord, increase me in knowledge. I love starting each day with Quran and Dua at my school.
I love my school because it uses modern technology and contemporary teaching techniques.
At my school, I'm totally comfortable as I can study without compromising my team.
Aisha Community School, preparing students today to excel tomorrow.
We love Aisha Community School.
Why don't you come and join us?
Where can you go for your perfect 14 nights holiday? Travel Express is offering you a lifetime trip, 2 weeks of full pleasure and spiritual experience. Flying from London to Jordan, where you'll experience some of the oldest Islamic sites. The experience will take you back to thousands of years of history. Pray Al-Jumu'ah at Masjid Al-Aqsa. As part of the package, Makkah Al-Mukarramah is your next destination where you'll perform your Umrah prayers. Medina Al-Munawwara is the land where Islam was introduced. Welcome to the City of the Prophet. This fantastic offer includes accommodation, all local transportation, tours and flights. For more details, please contact us on 08000 14 14 19 or website www.hajjandumrahexpress.com. This could be the most fulfilling trip you ever dreamed of.
The winter weather knows no borders. The cold causes suffering and even death to the most vulnerable. To the poor and frail in Bangladesh, the elderly and homeless in the UK, and the desperate families fleeing Syria. With just £50, you can help to warm a heart this winter. Call Muslim Aid now or donate online or via text.
O mankind, read Al-Quran, the Last Testament, to get your free pack containing the meaning of the glorious Quran and 10 free publications. Please contact IDCI on 0121 327 2277 or visit www.idci.co.uk. Also available as a free MP3 CD of the complete Quran recitation. Support Dawah in Britain. Please donate generously. IDCI, committed to conveying the message of Islam to every home in the UK. Inshallah.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one in whose hands lies the condition of the heart of a people, and this is the dua that we would like you to memorize, remember, because the heart can be changed. Sometimes a person, he has one aim in life and his heart is connected to his creator, but then on another time, another occasion, certain things happen in his life and then his heart can be turned away. So this dua, Allahumma musarrif al-qulubi, O Allah, the director of hearts or the turner of hearts, sarrif qulubana ala ta'atik, direct our hearts to your obedience. Sarrif qulubana, turn our hearts ala ta'atik, to your obedience. Let's keep on struggling, being firm, and not to be turned away when we are affected by what happens around us. In all conditions, the believer, he knows he is being tested. He knows that Almighty Allah Ta'ala knows the condition of his hearts, because Allah Ta'ala will not look at our outside appearance, He will look at our hearts. And hence, to keep our hearts cleansed, when a sin is committed, a black dot is stained on the heart. If there is no tawbah and no repentance, another dot will come on the heart after another sin, and this will continue until the whole heart will become covered in darkness. And so hence we say, tawbah is the door and the way to wipe out those black dots that has stained our hearts, inshallah. We will open our lines and take the next call. Assalamu alaikum. Your name and where are you calling from?
Assalamu alaikum, ya Sheikh. My name is Ali. I'm calling from Slough. Can you hear me?
Yes, brother Ali from Slough.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Thank you very much for taking the call. I've got two brief questions, please. Firstly, my grandfather passed away last year, and I promised whilst he was on the ventilator that I'll pray 2 nafil for his sawab every day for the rest of my life. But recently I've been told that this is not an ibadah you can actually do for the deceased. The only things permissible by Sharia are either doing the good deeds that they have taught you, sort of extending them, or doing umrah, but you can't do like Quran khanis and doing nawafil for the deceased. Would you please shed some light on that, if it is permissible or not? And also, if it is not, then do I need to pay sort of fidya or something for the promise that I made to Allah Ta'ala, and that I'm sort of breaking it now? And secondly, second question is about qasr namaz, please. The qasr salah, is it permissible? Is it mandatory if I'm satisfying all the conditions of qasr salah? For instance, if I'm traveling, but I'm actually traveling to my brother's house, which is about 100 miles away, and I've got like warm water, I've got the right place to do namaz, to do salah, I've got all the conditions right. Does it still become mandatory to do qasr namaz, or can I just do the normal salah? Thank you.
Okay, Jazakallah khairan to brother Ali from Slough. Yes, you have made a very important, good intention to have, but to maintain such an action and to keep on performing those 2 rak'ats and the prayers. There is a ruling that if you have made a promise or a qasam and an oath, then either you would keep 3 fasts consecutively, or you would feed 10 masakin and poor, and feed the people. فَيْتَعَامَ عَشَرَةَ مَسَاكِينَ. Because really, indeed, when you want to benefit somebody who has passed away, he has left the dunya, his actions come to an end, but you want to do something in while you are alive. It is as if though he will fall under that benefit when the son of Adam passes away. All his actions come to an end except if he leaves behind three things. What are them? What are those three? علم ينتفع به, صدقة جارية, ولد صالح يدعو له. So, knowledge which people take benefit from. Sadaqatun Jariya, recurring charity. And the third, Waladun Salih. So you are doing a pious son, or he's making dua for him and he's praying for him. So after your prayer, keep on making dua. Say every day after your salah, Rabbi rahamhuma kama rabbayani saghira, or Rabbana ighfir li wa li walidayya, oh Allah, forgive me and forgive my parents, and the believers on the day of hisab and accountability. So dua should be done every day. You don't remember him on a specific day and after maybe 40 days or 1 year anniversary. That is no evidence for remembering those who have passed away. You remember your father, you remember your mother every day. You make dua for them, and you want to do Umrah, and you want to go for Hajj, and you want to do it on their behalf and recite Quran. That can be done at any specific time. But dua you could do every day of your life. So it is not necessary, yes, to do something that you cannot fulfill and to make such type of oath and qasam like performing the two prayer. So keep the three fasts, inshallah, and Allah Ta'ala knows best. With regards to the qasr prayer, any journey that you undertake, and if you are there and you are staying for less than 15 days, then you will still be regarded as a traveler, a musafir. You have traveled 11 days, over 100 miles, and you have all the water and you have all the facility. Even in that condition, you will still perform qasr prayer, that is shortened prayer, provided that you do not stay there for 15 days and more. Jazakallah khairan. We'll take the next call. Assalamu alaikum. Your name and where are you calling from?
Assalamualaikum, Sheikh. I'm from London. I don't want to say my name. Just three questions, Sheikh. What it is, when one goes down for sujood, are their elbows supposed to touch the floor, or is it just only for men? Because I was told it's just for men. Women can touch the floor with their elbow. And the next one is, do you see in Islam channel there's one azan time, and in other channel there's the other azan time? So I get confused on which namaz should I pray, because I'm new to namaz and I'm really confused. And the third question is, when I go for gym, my hair shows sometimes, and the instructor may be a male, so will I lose my wudu for that? Or do I have to redo my wudu?
Okay, Jazakallah khairan.
Thank you so much.
We have to just bear in mind that just like how there are differences in the manner and in the postures of the salah, you have the madhahib, and each one of these madhahib, the schools of thought, those that have been passed on from generation and have been recognized that they are following the Quran and the Sunnah. So if one opinion from the school is that the woman can keep her elbows down and she can keep herself more concealed, and that is more astar laha, more concealing for her, then that is the opinion that has been followed and it will be valid. So we should, and those who are saying there is no difference of the prayer between the male and the female, if you're holding that opinion, but do not enforce that opinion on those who say that the woman's position in her prayer is different from those of the male. That is totally valid, and you will find it in all books of fiqh, especially with these schools and four schools. So do at least know that your salah will be valid if your hands, elbows do touch the ground for the female. The azan timing, yes, indeed, another important discussion that is ongoing between many of the scholars and the ai and those who have researched and done the thorough investigation and understood what is and why are the differences of opinion. So it does happen that there is, for example, a beginning time of a prayer, and if you take like the Asr prayer, for example, there are those who follow like this Shafi'i school of thought or Hanbali school of thought. After the at the beginning time, they will start and give the azan, and there will be those like the Hanafi school, for example, that may call the azan may be called out at a much later time. Now you have a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam when Jibril alayhi salam came and he performed the prayer. The length of the shadow was one size of that of the original object, and then when he came the next day, the shadow's length was twice that of the original object. So what do you have? Difference of opinion, and both are valid. So you can have a offering of prayers at the beginning of each salah, or you could have the offering of the prayers at a later time. And hence we would say that if you have a timetable, you would see what is the beginning time, most important. So it does not necessarily mean that when the adhan is called out, then only the salah time is set in. The salah time and the prayer time could have started much earlier, but the adhan has been called out much later. So there is a beginning time, and in many of the masajid they have a congregational time where they have a time and all people are aware that this is the time of Salatul Jama'ah, Salat in congregation, congregational prayer. And if the adhan is only called out probably 15 minutes before the congregational time, so you need to be aware of that. Jazakallah khair. Your question on the hair and going to the gym. Now here is an issue which comes under the discussion of the awrah, that parts of the body of the female that needs to be covered in front of all strange men. It would not be allowed for a woman who is in front of a strange man to have any of her hair exposed, uncovered. So that in itself is a severe or a serious violation of the commandment of the legal status of wearing the hijab. What is the hijab? So it would not be permissible. But if your hair is exposed, and it does not necessarily will break the wudu, but you come under another severe warning of revealing that part of your aura, which is in itself a great sin. Allah knows best. Jazakallah khairan. We'll take the next call. Assalamu alaikum. Your name and where are you calling from?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Akhi, I'm from this area.
Okay, could you lower your TV volume, and what is your question?
My question is, when I pray, when I pray in every salat, I mean, if I miss, like, if I think it's 3 rak'ah or 4 rak'ah, so when I think I come to do sujood,
okay.
And the other question is, if I miss the salat, so you think I pray again?
Okay, Jazakallah khairan. If somebody comes and he offers a prayer and now he is in salah, now depending on what type of prayer you are performing, one type of a mistake is you are not sure whether you done 3 rakats or you're in your 4th rakat, and one is where you are joining the prayer and you have missed so many rakats with the imam. So it all depends. There are a lot of issues pertaining to the manner and how you would complete your prayer. If in your salah you think that you have done 3 rakats when you're not sure whether it's 4, so you will base your opinion on that which you are more certain about. So if you think that you have done 3 rakats, then you should do an extra rakat. And if you feel that you are not sure, you are and you can make sajda saha. In your sajda last sitting position, you can offer salam after the tashahud and make 2 extra sujood prostrations, and that's how you can complete your prayer for omitting any wajib act of salah, that act which is compulsory. If you have missed a prayer, and if your question is regarding how would you make up for a salah that you missed, now if the time is still there, you came to the masjid and now Imam has completed the salah and you have missed the congregational prayer, you can offer your prayer immediately. You have just missed the congregational prayer, but you are still in its time. So when the salah becomes qada, the salah of a missed prayer is when the time lapses and the next salah time has set in, prayer time has set in, then that is a qada salah. So that is what you need to consider. Jazakallah khairan. We'll take the next call. Assalamu alaikum. Your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Anwar. I'm calling from Kent.
Okay, brother Anwar, your question?
I've got only one question, Sheikh. I've got every part of my wealth is earned by selling an alcohol, and now I gave up selling an alcohol. Is that money and wealth is halal for me now or not?
Jazakallah khairan. At the end of it, you are aware that on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah, no person will be allowed to move a single step back until he is asked 4 questions. And one of the questions is, an malihi, about his wealth, min ayna iktasabahu wa fima anfaqah. Where did he acquire his wealth? And how did he acquire his wealth? And where did he spend his wealth? So with wealth, there are 2 questions. How did you acquire your wealth? So money will come in and you will have wealth in abundance. But the question that you will be asked on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah is, how did you acquire your wealth? Now that you have made tawbah and repentance and asked Almighty Allah Ta'ala for forgiveness, then the door of repentance is open. Inna Allah yaqbalu tawbat al-abdi ma lam yugharghir. You knew previously that any wealth that came in, it was haram, it was forbidden, and you purchased food, halal food with haram money. That can have an effect on your ibadah. But remember, when the believer wants to make tawbah and repentance, then Allah Ta'ala gives every individual the chance to have his sins forgiven. وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا فَعَلُوا فَاحِشَةً أَوْ ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ ذَكَرُوا اللَّهَ فَاسْتَغْفَرُوا لِذُنُوبِهِمْ. Those who commit any fahisha, they commit lewdness, they commit sinning, they remember Allah and they ask Allah Ta'ala to forgive them. وَمَنْ يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. So who is the one to forgive except Allah? So ask Almighty Allah Ta'ala to forgive you. Do not go back to selling alcohol and khamr and gambling. All these are totally prohibited and forbidden, and in fact severe warnings, in fact curse upon those people whom are selling their alcohol in their business premises, even though they are saying we don't want to go into the details, but nevertheless we would say that from now on, given that you have made the tawbah, inshallah Allah Ta'ala, He is most forgiving and most merciful. But just fulfill the conditions of your tawbah and to really go back and take stock of all the money that came in. You have just made your tawbah, so there's no need to do away with that wealth, but try to now work and enforce your giving lot of sadaqah, lot of zakat. Make sure you discharge your zakat properly and thoroughly. And if you feel that the wealth is coming through alcohol and gambling, and Allah has blessed you with a lot of wealth, then you may want to give that type of money which came in from haram avenue in for those people who are in desperate need, without even having any intention of earning reward. May Allah Ta'ala accept. Jazakallah khairan. We'll take the next call. Assalamu alaikum. Your name and where are you calling from?
Alaikum salam, brother. My name is Sarah. I want to ask you one question. Sometimes I get whispers when I'm praying, and it never used to be that much before, but at the moment I'm pregnant, so sometimes I feel like something is talking in my head while I'm praying, like something saying, oh, you're praying for so and so, and I say A'udhu Billah inside the prayer, then it goes away, but it's coming back to me a lot, and I don't know what to do.
At the end of it is, as Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, وَإِمَّا يَنْزَغَنَّكَ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ نَزْغٌ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. So the shaitan, he will put that whispers in your heart, in your mind, and he will try to turn your attention away. You seek protection in Allah. فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. So keep on reading your A'udhu Billah. See the du'as of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Allahumma inna na'udhu bika min even min fitnatil mahya wal mamati. So you seeking protection in Allah from the fitna of living and also dying. You seek protection in Allah against many things, whether it is kasal, laziness, juban, even cowardice. You seeking the protection of Allah in so many things that may come and turn your heart away from Him. So again, to bring you back to the dua, Ya Musarrif al-Qulub, Sarrif qulubana ala ta'atik. Oh, the turner of hearts, turn our hearts, direct our hearts to your obedience, inshallah. We take the next call. Assalamu alaikum. Your name and where are you calling from?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
My name is Zainab. I'm calling from London. Thank you for accepting my call. May Allah reward you for all the effort. Actually, just a simple question. It's about a family relationship. Recently, my husband and my mom had a family problem, and I just want to know, in terms of my husband doesn't want me to go to my mom back in my country. I mean, is there any? I mean, who do I need to listen more, my husband or my mom? If I need to do something for my mom, as you know, parent has great importance in Islam.
Yes, I mean, you have raised a very important query and issue of concern that if, for example, your husband deprives you to visit your mom, now we have to think, understand what is the position of the mother. Your husband has his right, but if Almighty Allah Ta'ala in the Quran, He gives a verdict that immediately after worshipping Allah, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُ إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ. Immediately after the state, the importance and the rank of your Creator, that you have been ordained to worship none other except Allah. And in the same sentence, in the same breath, we read, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, and be kind to your parents. How is it possible for a husband to deprive his wife, her mother, to not to visit or to stop her from visiting her own mother? This is something is inseparable. This is something that every mother and every daughter, they would still have that, and to maintain that connection and that love. It is something you cannot take away. It is a great blessing to be and have a mother and a daughter to keep on with their good relation. But it is for the husband to know, understand the feelings, sentiments, emotions. Otherwise, it would cause him to have difficulty in his own marriage, because if the wife is not happy, it will affect his life. If the wife wants something in her life and she wants to contact her mother and visit her mother, so therefore we say it is something which goes under normally to do it with hikmah and wisdom, to see what are the reasons, what is the main problem. He has a dispute with your mother, but on what basis? Is it a worldly matter, a dispute? Now all that would need again to be seated down, to contact somebody or the local imam and to have a discussion. It is a very serious matter. Why is it and how is it? Can the mind fathom? Husband stopping his wife to visit her mother. So time has run out. We will go to the next caller. Assalamu alaikum. Your name and where are you calling from? Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
And I'm calling from Ireland, and my name is Abdul Fattah.
Okay, your question?
My question is, I have a friend of mine. He's an Irishman. He normally hunts. Is it halal, to eat a bird that he killed, and you know that he killed it while you're going to hunt together?
Okay, Jazakallah khairan. We'll take another caller. Assalamu alaikum. Your name and where are you calling from?
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mahmoud, and I'm calling from London. My question is regarding stress. How can one deal with stress related from work in the light of Islam?
Okay, Jazakallah khairan. Now remember the issue on having an animal and to eat it. We have to say the Quran is very clear. You cannot kill a bird. You cannot kill a chicken. You have to sacrifice it until and unless the name of Allah, if it's not pronounced, it will not be halal. وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا مِمَّا لَمْ يَذْكُرِ اسْمُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ. You cannot, and you are not allowed to eat any animal if the name of Allah has not been pronounced on it. And if you are aware of it, then it would not be halal for you. The issue on stress, yes. وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ, it is about bringing that form of taqwa and having a connection with Almighty Allah Ta'ala. Bringing zikr in your life. You have work issues and you have so much of challenges in your work. But if you keep your tongue with your moist with the zikr of Allah, if you start your day with Salatul Fajr, the rest of the day will become easy. If you start your day and you open and read Yasin wal Quran al Hakim, so it is about ala bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. With the zikr of Allah, with the remembrance of Allah, the heart will gain contentment. The believer, he knows that in any condition he finds himself in, if he, even though he is in his work, he does not disconnect from Allah, the Almighty, the Creator, and he will find there will also be a sense of peace, enjoyment, even while he is in his work. We come to the end of the program. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم